Ik doe
Ja.
maar.
Oké, succes
Jij
maatje.
ook. Go English.
Well, there we are.
Hey Christian, good evening.
Hey Daniel. Well, there we are. Hey Christian. Hey Daniel.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. I'm just hearing an echo in the start.
Yeah,
Maybe that's
I'm sorry
a
about
check.
that. I still saw that I had my audio enabled, but it should be okay right now.
Very good, very good. Welcome.
Thank
And
you.
welcome everybody that's looking.
Yeah, welcome everyone. I see there's some people in there. So, we've got some nice topics today, or topic actually. And you can see the topic in the background for the people who are aware of this location.
Exactly.
Today we're gonna.
Well,
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, no problem. We'll just start with of course our story, but for everybody that's joining us tonight, we're talking about our finding, not of the century, but of this year for us. It's a little bit of an extraordinary find for us. It's not only that it's cool,
Yep,
but it's something unique for that location.
definitely.
So yeah, we're going to talk about that, how we found it, some history of the quarry, of course, and everything you want to ask. So please, if you have something you want to ask, do it. Type it in our chat and we'll see and we'll answer the question if it's possible.
Exactly.
So yeah, I don't know if you have something to add, Daniel, that we are going to speak about.
Well, just the name of the location, obviously, which you did not mention. Today
Yeah,
we're going to present indeed a really cool finding that we did in the quarry called Calciet de la Sambre in Belgium, also known as Landelis, which is the town that is located near there in Belgium, in Europe. And this is actually a place that we're visiting quite often, you and I together, but also with friends. I already see some people in the chat which I recognize that I know also go here, so that's quite cool
exactly.
to see
Yeah.
that some of the people following the live stream right now actually have visited this location in the past as well. And yeah, as you mentioned, we did a really extraordinary find there at I think the early months of the year. It was somewhere in May or June. Can't really remember. I think it was in May. Um,
Something like
yeah,
that.
where we found a pocket with crystals that were they were just ridiculous. And for those people in this stream right now that have seen the videos that we also posted on YouTube earlier, or the videos that we posted on Instagram, you already saw the crystals, of course. But now we felt like having a live stream and taking everyone along the ride that we actually had that day, or days, I must say, because it
Yeah,
took us 2 days to excavate the pocket,
yeah.
and then to also share with you how these pieces actually look in the live stream. I'm sure, Chris, that you have them somewhere nearby where you can grab them.
Well, as you can see in the background of my video stream, I have many display cases here, but the crystals are really in another room,
Ah,
in a,
okay, okay. Well,
in the better display
I,
case.
I would
Even
I
if
would
this,
really say if the time is right, go grab them.
yeah,
Go grab them. I
exactly.
actually have the pieces right here and on purposely just below the camera so you can't see them, but I'll pick them up later on in the stream, so I have to show it to everyone. And some pieces
Yeah,
here in my desk as well. So I kind of raided my display cabinet for the stream today.
yeah. Hey, but everybody, before we get started with everything you already seen on YouTube, because our video is there, or on Instagram we've got some reels with our crystals findings, or some other displays there. But we can say that we don't only find this; it's also Lend-Lease or Calcaire de la Sambre is a quarry that you can find many calcites. It's not only that you can find it like this, it was unique, this size, for
Yep.
example, but we come there since 2012, I
Yeah,
believe. I
something
don't
like that.
know when you
Yeah.
started there,
No,
Daniel.
same. Yeah. So basically, in the
Yeah,
year that we met each other with this hobby, that was also my first year that I actually went to this quarry itself.
Yeah. Yeah, so then we're searching there more than 10 years, not every week, but it's a quarry you can go to only when you ask permission, of course. That's one of the things you have to do. It's a possibility to go there, and you can find a nice calcite, but this find was bigger than normal. It was uniquer, so that's why we share it with you guys. And now we have some extra videos and extra images we can show you. So maybe you can start, Daniel, with something we have in mind, because we can do a little bit of the history.
Yep.
But we started out with something that was very cool. I believe it was a message from the Belgian television that wrote to us.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, we received a message from the Belgian television, the VRT. To be honest, I don't know what the abbreviation means, but at least it's the global Belgium television, and they saw our YouTube videos regarding crystal searching, and they actually asked us if we were interested in a day where they would follow us and actually see how this hobby, how it works, what kind of things you need to do to find the crystals. So that obviously sounded really interesting, and we did. So they invited us, or actually we invited them to join this location, which was quite near to them, and they actually filmed us for a day, where they we showed them more or less the ropes. How does this work when you're in such a quarry? What do you look at? How do you find crystals? How do you excavate them? And he actually made a really nice video of this, which was shown on the Belgian television. If you want, it's a short video. I've got it right here. I could show it to people who haven't seen it yet. It is actually how it was aired on the Belgian television. It takes about a minute or so.
We can look at it. It's more as in everybody that's not familiar with the hobby or crystal prospecting or digging could see this and learn from it. It was really an introduction for 1 or 2 minutes.
Exactly.
For how you can do it, but also it's not always like that. That's also what we are going to say. It's not that you find always crystals. It's an adventure. Sometimes you are lucky, sometimes you're not. But in this video we have a recap of that day, and in that day we were lucky. And they started filming us around 10 in the morning, I believe, or 10 or 11.
About so.
Yeah, and we were maybe 4 or 5 hours with them. And that part you are seeing in the movie. So that's the first part of the day. So know that there was more that day. We'll go to that later. But if you want to show the video, Daniel, then everybody knows what we're talking about.
Sure. Let me just start it up. I don't think we have any audio in this, but bear with us. Let's just do it. You can comment if you want, Chris.
Well, this is the first walk into the quarry. Maybe there's a bit of a lag in the video, hopefully not, or in the audio. If so, we'll translate it afterwards. But you get a really good look at how we are with our hammers and chisels. Came together there on some rocks.
Hier wat kantjes.
Kantjes, yeah. Yeah, I think you're breaking up with the connection, so I'll over a little bit. So, indeed, what you say, you actually see us walking across the quarry. We actually...
Yeah, this is the boat. Okay, only this.
I'm going to pause the video for a second here. Apparently the internet connection...
But the yellow golden color is very nice. For that quarry it's a good find. And that's it. You can see mineraalzoekers in Dutch or in Belgian. It's like crystal prospectors. That's the best translation I can get.
Okay.
So yeah, this was cool. It was from the VRT. It's one of the biggest Belgian television, not shows, but channels. And they wanted a short video without much audio, but just an introduction in how our hobby is. And that was a really honor to be a part of, because yeah, as you can see, it's on film, it's on professional film, it's on the television, and it will be for always. But you can see how it's going. We found that day not only that pocket, also other boulders with crystals on it, but the pocket was one of the things we went on searching after they got away, because they stopped at 15 hours, around like that.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
And then we thought, okay, we have 2 hours left, because you have to go out of the quarry at 17 hours. So we had 2 hours left. And that's where the real adventure started. But okay, it was 2 adventures in one day. But yeah, maybe you can add something, Daniel.
No, it was exactly how you tell it. It was.
I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, it just but
I can't hear you, Daniel.
Oh, sorry. Give me a second. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Just checking if anything is wrong.
Do you have your audio, Daniel?
Yes, yes. And I'm able to hear you, and I see that the people in the chat can also hear me.
Okay, good that you hear him. I can't hear him at the moment.
Okay. Right. Testing it. Can you hear me, Kristian? Because I can hear you, and the people in the live stream can do that as well. Okay. Kristian, just checking. Can you hear me? 1, 2, 3. No, unfortunately not. Okay, in that case, I'll just continue. Well, as Kristian also said, there was indeed during that day when we had the recording with the VRT. Give me a second. Just a second.
Oh, nice. Everybody can hear me, but I'm out of audio. I can't hear Daniel at the moment, so we'll just continue. Maybe you can take over at the moment.
Okay, yeah. I've just asked Kristian to restart his connection. Anyway, sorry about that, everyone. So during that day, when the VRT was actually following us, I think the recordings took about 4 hours or so, and it was actually quite nice. There was a cameraman, there was an audio man, not sure how you called it, or there was a director as well. And they actually followed us during that entire day. They were checking, they were filming. We had to do some, yeah, how do you call that? We had to do some scenes a couple of times. And I think Chris is back again in the audio, because
Yes.
Excellent. What a restart can do. So that's really good.
Yeah.
So one of those during one of those scenes, which was actually quite funny, they asked us, are you able to actually show how it looks when you dig a hole or when you find a pocket? We explained to them what pockets are, and how that actually works when you find a crystal in such a pocket. So what we actually did during that morning, just before they arrived, we tried to investigate if there were any signs of pockets in the area, and we actually found one, which wasn't new or really big or anything, but you could see it was quite deep. So it went in pretty far. And he actually asked us, well, if you could sit in front of that pocket, then can you show us if you find a crystal in there and you extract it, how that looks, for us to film it as well. So kind of looked a bit like that it was fake, that it was a scene, so to speak, that they prepared in advance, which it actually was. But little did we know what that pocket actually was. And I think, Chris, you can explain that a bit better than I do.
Well, yeah, I missed a part of your story, so
no worries.
Hopefully I'm
no
not
worries.
the same. But as in, well, we saw the pocket, but the pocket itself was just a little hole. I don't know if you have a picture of that, but it was something like a crevice of about 40 centimeters, and there was debris in front of it, so it wasn't attractive to search. There was a lead, as Daniel said. There was something that triggered us to search there, but it wasn't like, oh, I can see crystals, so there should be more.
Yeah.
But okay, the pocket itself, we found the pocket. The pocket was new. Nobody searched there before. It
Correct.
was a new thing. And as you can see, maybe on the picture, the pocket had a little crevice that went open, but the vein of calcite went in, and we started digging. And the first pieces that came out were really big debris pieces with small crystals, maybe up to 4 millimeters. So it was really shallow. It wasn't big crystallized, as you normally should have on the crystal pieces that you find in London. So we went on digging. Yeah, with all the pieces that came out, okay, the crystals that are on the video from VRT are about 5 to 7 centimeters. So okay, that was a lead, but later on it seems like it was empty.
Correct.
We laid down for 1 meter, 1.5 in the pit itself, looking around, and there was nothing interesting anymore. And the only thing you can do then, and we also made a video for that, and that's called What Miners Left Behind. Now, nobody left this behind, but we thought about it, okay, we are not done yet. This isn't the end. It's possible that it is the end of the pocket, but we have time left. And if we don't continue now, we are going to regret it when we're going home.
Yeah.
And that lead, I don't know if that was for you, like I experienced, Daniel, but when we were at that point, we thought, okay, we go deeper into the pit of the pocket. So we really went in the bottom, so where the debris and the clay was.
Exactly.
And that was one of the coolest things we have found, because we have to dig around 10 centimeters deeper. And first of all, we saw on the side a little part of a crystal. Yeah, I see a picture. You can see it as well.
Yeah, I was sorry. I was a bit silent. I was actually trying to find this picture, but I got a couple of folders where it was. But this is indeed the way that the pocket was found. So I see someone in the chat, Ontario Rockhound, saying, it was staged, wasn't it? The pocket, filming the pocket for the VRT recordings, that was actually staged. So we did have that pocket in that video that you just saw that they showed on television. But as Kristian indeed just mentioned, we didn't find the crystals until after those videos for the television were made, and then we also started recording the videos ourselves.
Yeah. And very important to know, as in staged, I understand that you're saying that, but the nicest thing about it, this pocket was found that day by us, so in that part it's not staged. But yeah, they wanted to film this whole adventure from finding or walking into the quarry, as you could see in the video, to ending with some crystal findings, and that really happened at the moment. The only staging was, okay, you find a crystal in the pocket, can we film it again? So we filmed it again, taking it out.
Exactly.
It was a small crystal.
Exactly.
As you can see on this picture, what Daniel is showing us at the moment. So that was only taking out the crystal again and showing it on camera for VRT. But at that stage, we didn't find the big crystals at all. So that was really only dead crystals in this picture. And when they went away, yeah, the bigger finds were happening.
Mm-hmm.
So then we got deeper into the bottom of the
definitely. No, but just to give you an idea, because those indeed that video that we just saw, that was of course what they produced just before we found the big pocket with the Starship VRT crystals, and actually doing some stuff on the back of that video. So while they were recording, yeah, that actually looked like this. So in the video itself that we just saw, you saw Kristian.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, it just dropped out. Give me a second. Here we go. You see him cleaning one of the crystals, and it actually looks like this. Just to show. So, well, yeah. After we actually sent those guys home, because we finished filming that day. We couldn't help it just to continue a little bit of digging. And then those first crystals came out, actually, yeah. I'm not entirely sure, Kristian, maybe you can remind me a little bit, but we didn't find any directly big crystals, right? I think we just had some small ones in the beginning.
No, small ones, yeah. Maybe the part that we started searching without the VRT with us,
yeah,
we started digging in the floor, and there only came out debris or small crystals. I believe, no, I don't have it here. Normally I have some crystals laying around here, but not at the moment. It was really small crystallized. It was some kind of floating material, floating stones that were totally covered in small crystals. It was cool, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't what we found later.
I think I might,
but okay, it was no big crystals. We were just searching, okay, is this pocket empty? Is it ready, or is it finished, as you can say? But we went deeper and deeper, and unfortunately we don't have the picture of that, but I can totally remember, as in we were digging in the floor and some crystal size was seen in the debris, in the clay. So you had some brown clay layer. It was wet, so you can put your hand in it and you can feel a little bit, okay, is there something in it?
Yeah.
And it wasn't sharp. It was really like the crystal we are going to see in a moment, I believe, on a picture. It was a floating piece of around 20-25 centimeters. And at the side, you could feel the crystal. And you could see one side that was cleaned with our finger. And then you could see the color of the crystal, but the other sides were all brown with clay. And in that picture that Daniel hopefully has at the moment, you can see we got it out, we shouted out, we were really excited like hell, because how in God's name you can find like a crystal like that. And the size of it, for Landelis, the size of crystals is about, what's it? 2 centimeters to 5 centimeters, maybe
if you are lucky, Kristian, you go into this location, then you get crystals which are about this size that you see right now. These are regular sized crystals, give or take 5, 6, 7, 8 centimeters or so if you're lucky. And even so, if you find them this size, this one is completely covered in clay, you still have to find the one that is undamaged, which also happens quite often. So this being a limestone quarry, which has a lot of calcite in it, you have to be lucky as well that there's a lot of clay or mud in such a pocket, so that the crystals aren't damaged, because calcite, it breaks quite easy.
Yeah, and some people take it for granted because it's not always possible to find crystals that are undamaged. It also can be cool, of course. It's not that you have to throw it away when there's a damage on it, but because we are searching for more than 10 years there, and you have something in your display case, you want better pieces. So everything is correct, but you have, of course, a standard you want to find. And sometimes you take it home, sometimes you give it to somebody else.
Yeah.
Well, and exactly what you are seeing now, what Daniel is showing in the picture, that's really the piece that was standing out with one side that was clean and the other things were really, really muddy. And that's the cool part of this one. I think we also have a picture that it's really not really in clay, but you can see how big this crystal is and how it's on the bedrock. And this was totally filled with clay, and this was really amazing to find. How in God's name this big and this free crystallized?
Yeah.
So it's
No, unfortunately, I only unfortunately have it like this. The one with the clay on it is actually a video, but if you can,
okay.
I'll zoom in a little bit so you can see it a bit better. Here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. I think in this picture you can clearly see what you just mentioned about being the small crystals first. Of course, that big crystal itself it's absolutely huge, and it's brilliant. It's undamaged. It just looks so nice. But you see the actual plate just to the right itself. Those are calcite crystals as well, but those were really small and just hundreds of them all packed together. And I think that even makes it really amazing for these pieces that you have so many small crystals on one piece, and then suddenly it's like boom, you got this really big one centered.
Yeah. As you zoom,
oh, you just dropped out.
I can't know if this happened, but it's possible. It's a possibility that when this crystal or this host rock, I must say, collapsed in that crack because the rock moved, and the movement, and in that movement and in that vein of the rock crystallized the calcite. But when something falls down and it stays a little bit free, as you can see, it's plated with small crystals, but in between it has room to grow something, and the right conditions are there, then this crystal can grow like that. And it's hypothetically, but this is how calcite or something like that can grow in pockets, because it's in veins and it's a sedimentary rock. So there went something in the earth or in the rock with movement, with an opening that could give this crystal the time to grow and the room to grow.
Yeah, I agree with you there, but still it's quite amazing actually that it's, if you have a piece with so many crystals, that it's only that one single crystal that just explodes, completely ignoring all the other ones, and just decides, hey, you know what, guys, I'm one of 100 crystals on this piece. Let me just grow 100 times bigger than the rest of you.
Yeah,
it's quite funny.
Yeah, I see also a question in the chat from Jannes. So if we are going to search again for crystals this year, well, I'm not sure yet. Hopefully, I was last week also in this quarry, without this lucky as we could get this time with a pocket, but that's not a problem. It was very cool to go. Yeah. But we hope to go more often to this quarry. Also, we have planned some trips for next year, as we do always. Daniel and I go at minimum 2 times a bigger, mineral prospecting trip to like Switzerland or France or Germany. So for the time being, in the near future, no plans, but hopefully it will be back soon.
That would be nice.
Yeah. Okay, we found this piece. This was like the most exciting thing at the day after the recordings of VRT. Everything fell together that day. It was cool. Yeah. And we found this and we couldn't know what to do with it. And should we go on, or what should we do? Is this all? Maybe there's more. So all those questions. So we went on digging deeper. And I think this is a good time that you take over, Daniel, because you picked out, and you can see it in the video on YouTube, but we'll show it maybe in this video or in the live stream also. But you picked out one big boulder with something on it that has something to do with this crystal.
It does actually, yeah, because we found this one, indeed, as one of the first ones. Of course, we were really happy about that. But just, I think, what was it, half an hour later or so? No, I think even at the same time, we found that piece, we got it
Something
out,
like that, yeah.
we made all the pictures and everything, and we were dancing around. But when we looked into the pocket itself, we could actually see that the exact same place where we got this crystal, there was some color of another one. So I think even in the original video that's on YouTube, you hear us say, "Oh, there's another one, and you're like, no, that can't be true, which actually was. But there was a lot of debris around it because it was in the bottom of the pocket, so a lot of boulders on it. And I think even this one, when we found it, it was like covered. You had the big pocket itself, but even inside was like an extra pocket where it was in. So in order for us to reach the rest, we had to more or less break out that second pocket inside as well, because it was an additional hole. Let me just grab that video where you can actually see when we removed all that debris and we removed all that those extra rocks that fell down to reach that second crystal. So bear with me for a second, because that would be this one. That's always a nice thing when you are listing so many videos at the same time. Ah, here it is. This is the one.
That's the charming
even ter
part
introductie. Oh ja, vertel.
Ik moet even op adem komen.
Ja, ik kan net
Maar
zeggen.
ter introductie inderdaad. We zijn met een pocket bezig. En we hadden net al die hele grote gevonden.
Deze dus. Hè?
En helemaal onder in de pocket zat er nog één.
Ja?
Maar die zat zo vast in gesteente dat we eerst alles hebben moeten ruimen.
Ja, dat klopt.
En ik heb hem eruit.
Oh god. Ja. Jezus. Oh nee, ik zie hem al in de duisternis.
Oh, er zijn er twee.
Nee.
Mag ik eens even kijken?
Oh, ik heb... Nee, dit is echt... What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?
life. It's something. Well, this is. I think there's something wrong with the audio again. Unfortunately. Okay, I see somebody writing that somebody can only hear me. Well, of course, welcome. I can't hear Daniel at the moment. maybe it has something to do with the video we are showing. It was the last time as well, but I restarted and it doesn't bring me anything, unfortunately. For now, as we saw in the video, the big piece that was hopefully Daniel explained a little bit, but it was a surprise coming out, and that part was a surprise that came out like it was unusual to find another two big crystals. It was, first of all, the big one you see on the video screen, and the other two came out 50 minutes later. It was something unusual, and I hope so that when we are continuing, when Daniel is ready again, that we see a video or a picture that something was unusual about both pieces. Because we weren't like, okay, this piece was there, this piece was there. Okay, maybe there's something together, or one of the bigger parts, it looked like it missed the crystal. And the crystal that was missing, we couldn't find it in the pocket or in the clay. So, okay, maybe it was just lost or crystallized somewhere else. But no, it's turned out to be that the crystal on the first part we took out fitted to the other part. And it's seen in the video on YouTube, but we didn't know it at first. It was just luck. It was like, okay, put it together and really it fits without any damage or without missing anything from the crystals. So yeah, I don't know if Daniel can hear me, but maybe he can show that that video or that picture. No, I don't believe he can hear it. No, unfortunately. Okay. I think he's searching for that picture. Yeah, exactly. Thank you. Thanks, Daniel. Hopefully you'll get audio soon. But you can see in this picture the thing we didn't know when we took those crystals out. It was a surprise at most, because the left part of those crystals, or the big crystal, I have to say, so the left big crystal was the one we took out first, and the big one with the boulder around it with the host rock and the two crystals aligned came out later, but they belong together and they fit perfectly together. It's without any crack or damage in between. And yeah, that was really some time we didn't know this belonged together, and we didn't know what to do with it, because how can it be grown like this? You have host rock and it was really heavy and bouldery, and the left part is small host rock. But okay, it was cool to see that it belonged together. For us, at the end, it was a gift, because we could decide who could take which part home, because we decided one piece goes with me, one piece goes with Daniel home. Then we have both a piece in our display cases, of course. But yeah, this is the first big find of the three crystals, and we call it the tree of a kind. We exhibited this also in the Rijswijk Mineral Fair last September, I believe, or October it was. And everybody was like, really, this can't come out of London's quarry. It was too big for sure, but also the color. I'm not saying it is the same, but some people say, hey, it's like going for the crystals in Elmwood. So it's not the same. Let me get this straight. But okay, the quality and the color was good without any damage, as you can see. So for Belgian words, this was a good find. Maybe, Daniel, if you have a video again to show about the rest that's going on after this find. We'll see if we can see or find a video from it. Then we can see if the video works. If it means we have to restart or make a little bit of a pause in the stream to get Daniel back, we'll do that. So don't be scared to come back.
Nou, kijk eens even. We realiseren ons dat de twee losse stukken oorspronkelijk bij elkaar hebben gehoord. Want ja, kijk eens eventjes. Gewoon 3 van die gigantische kristallen naast elkaar. Kijk dan hoe huge die dingen zijn.
Ja,
niet normaal. Maar ja, het zijn 2 stukken en we zijn met z'n tweeën. Dus we delen ze gewoon eerlijk. En ja, jij een deel, ik een deel. Zo werkt dat met deze hobby.
Zeker.
Maar gewoon de gedachte dat het 1 stuk is geweest.
Ja. Ik zal het nog 1 keer laten zien.
Ja, kijk, hier kan je het gewoon
Want we dachten eigenlijk, oh, dit vlak is te groot. Nou, dat past niet hierop. Maar
nee, maar hij zat er gewoon,
zo
tegenaan.
Je moet altijd heel voorzichtig zijn.
Geen kans.
Kijk, maar dit was hij.
Oh, yo. Wat een stuk.
Even, ja.
Ja,
Dit
ter
is
info.
gewoon- kijk eens.
Kijk hoe groot.
Dit kristal is...
Ja hoor.
Oh, wat een stuk.
Even, ja.
Ja,
Dit
ter
is
info.
gewoon- kijk
Kijk,
eens.
kijk hoe groot.
Dit kristal is... Ja, 15 centimeter.
Zoiets.
20.
Ja.
Tot en met hier, hè.
Bizar. Echt bizar.
Okay, testing again. Can you hear me now?
Well, there we are again.
Yes, apologies for that, everyone. I hope that
Yes, I can hear
people
you
have
clearly.
not dropped out. But apparently, whenever we load one of these videos, then the audio just drops out. We haven't experienced this before, and as you can see, I'm turning red a little bit because I was stressed and getting everything fixed again. But I see that in the chat that audio is back. Yeah, streaming is indeed complicated. Good. Right, we are back again. So, I think for now, if you agree, Chris, we should forget about placing those videos in. We did test it this afternoon, which was working fine, but apparently there's some issues either with the connection or with the YouTube stream sequence. So let's keep it for now. Good thing is, the video that you just saw, I got the pieces as well here. So maybe while I'm showing, now that I do have audio, you can grab yours as well, if that's okay. So,
Yeah. If you start, I'll go grab them.
yeah, that's fine. So it's a little bit heavy. I'll try not to break over my my webcam at the same time. Let me just switch to full screen for a second. Here we go. And this was actually that big piece, as you can see right here. The crystal itself is about the size of my head, which is quite huge actually. I can barely hold it with one hand. I'll try not to drop it. Show it a bit like this as well. You can clearly see that even though the crystal starts here, it actually seems that it's broken here, which is not the case. There's some extra overgrowth here, but it continues all the way to the end. Those white pieces that you see there are actually rock, which has grown on top of it, so it's captured a little bit between the different rocks as well. There's some rock here, of course the host rock itself where it's on, and then on the second side you see the additional crystal, which is the second one. Bring it a bit closer to the camera so you can see it, and there you can see that second crystal, even though it's incorporated and goes behind this rock into there, it is actually bigger. It's a bit fatter as well, so a bit thicker. There's even a third smaller crystal on the side, as you can see. But because those two are really big, I'm not even counting them. And that ends up with two huge crystals, as you also saw in the video itself. The now interesting part is, when we found it, we thought that this side was where it's white, right there, that there was something here that broke off. As you can see, it's clearly calcite. It's the bottom side of calcite. And first time we saw it, we thought, well, that kind of looks like it broke off. But then Kristian found out that his piece, and I see that he has returned. There you are. That the piece.
Second.
Oh, no worries. I thought I gave you enough time to actually grab that piece, but you still haven't done so. I thought 2 minutes would be enough for me to keep on talking and you to actually grab that piece, which has to be connected. But no, take your time. Take your time. The people will wait. In the meantime, if there are any questions, feel free to do
I'm
that.
back.
Ah, there you are. We were waiting for you while I was telling everyone that you were grabbing that other piece. So, without further ado, please go ahead. You do have another piece in your hand, I think?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll show it to you. Of course. Yeah, it's one of the three of a kind. Just explain like that. As you can see,
I will switch to full video.
this is the host rock.
Give me a second.
Bottom. But this is what it's all about. The big crystal. Undamaged. But this piece, this side, only this side, belongs to the other two. And you can see it on the video, it fits like 3 crystals. It also has a little bit of a phantom, as you can say, in the crystal. You have one brown stripe. You have it also here. Nice piece.
Very cool. And I think, what we also saw in that video, the moment supreme after we found it, is that actually that small damaged corner of this big piece right here perfectly fits with your the one that you just had, Kristian. So we actually found out, which you could see in the video as well, that these two pieces, where this one has 2 crystals and
exactly.
yours has 1, that they actually belong together, hence also the name 3 of a kind. Now the interesting part there was that after we found those 3 huge crystals, that was it. The pocket was completely done. There weren't even any smaller crystals coming afterwards. It was just like it ended abruptly, that this was the far bottom of it, but there was still a lot of debris in the end of the pocket itself, and I think we stopped around 7 in the evening. I saw that someone in the chat mentioned that when he runs out of time on a spot, he covers it up and does a rebury trick. Well, bad thing here is that the pocket was so big that we could not cover it up. Luckily for us, this location is only open for public in the weekends, and I think this was on a Sunday, so we actually decided we had to go out because of the time, but to go back directly the week afterwards, in the weekend, to continue digging. That's usually what you do when you find a big pocket. You decide, well, I'm going to stick to it, and I'm not going to leave it for anyone else, because we kind of still felt that there was more to be gained in it, especially because there was so many debris in it. So I think from that, Chris, if you're okay with that, we move on 7 days into the future, in the weekend afterwards, where we decided let's go back and see what else we can find.
Yeah.
So when we
Exactly.
yeah. So when we actually went back,
The reason we went back is not only because we love crystal prospecting.
oh, Kristian just dropped out. I could hear him, and we could hear him. He'll connect pretty quickly. So as he mentioned, we went back that next weekend. I think even the weather was quite nice, but we definitely had to dig some more, getting a lot of that debris out. And there you are. I think it was quite fast actually that we discovered that.
I'm back.
Yeah, you are. That we discovered that there was much more in that pocket to begin with. So it actually looked a bit like this, as you can see, where with helmet and full protection on, we were almost inside. It wasn't too wide of a pocket, but I think it was already like 2 or 3 meters in that we could lay down. So that was quite funny. And what we did see then was that
it was also something we didn't expect it to be this deep.
No, definitely. I agree with you. It was because there was so much debris in there. I think we could see like 2 meters or so, but it was going on for at least 3 to 4 meters. What's that in feet? 9 feet, 12 feet, give or take, something like that. Yeah, but then can you tell what happened then? Because when we removed all the debris, there was one really large boulder, which was in the end of the pocket, and it was lodged in.
Yeah, I can explain it, of course. What happened when we took out all the debris in the end of that pocket? It was like, we went around 2 meters deep, 3 meters deep, and all that debris was collapsed. So you had the roof of the pocket, and the pocket itself was very narrow. It was also like everything came down, and it was laid in a split that came down from the top. And every debris that was there was just rock without crystals. It was fallen down or something when they detonated that part of the quarry, or when the pocket moved a little bit sometime. But okay, we took it out, and there was one moment I thought I saw, I'm not sure, or I wasn't sure, some side of a crystal. It was not gray.
Careful. I'll take over. He probably drank too much beer. There was this big rock in the end, and on top of it, what we saw kind of resembled a crystal, but we could only see the tip of it. It was actually pointing towards us. So we had this, the end of one crystal actually looking towards us, and for the rest it was the rock itself, and then the top of the pocket where that single crystal was placed in the middle. That made it really difficult for us to actually see whether the crystal was large, it was big, and also because it was a bit bigger, and at the end it was stuck in the top of that pocket. So first thing we had to do was actually try to remove that big rock that was below it. Good. I see in the chat that everyone can hear us loud and clear. So Kristian, good thing there. Not for the listeners or the viewers. It's actually the connection between you and me that's really bad.
Yeah.
Luckily, the people listening to the feed, to the live stream, aren't affected at this moment. So that's good news. I was just explaining that that large crystal which was on the top.
Exactly.
It was pointing towards us. So I've got a relatively smaller crystal here to show that a little bit. So this is one single crystal. For Lend-Lease perspectives, this is a reasonable one, but it was actually pointing towards us like this from the front, and you can imagine that my fist was that rock which was in between. And the top of the pocket was actually like this, so we could see something, something like this. I'm improvising a little bit, but this was actually how we were seeing that crystal. Yeah. We couldn't get it out because no way to actually grab it, to hold on it, but it did move a little bit. So I think Chris, you said, well, let's stop moving it because there's a chance it might damage or break. And first put the hole full of newspapers and cloths, and I think we even put in our jackets to protect that crystal, and then try to remove that big rock below it, which we just had to chisel down into small pieces.
Our jackets went in well.
Yeah, I think so as well, because I saw in the video that my jacket was full of mud. Until a moment where you were outside. Now I was inside the pocket and I said, I think I got it. Oh no, or did you? I think you did it. I can't remember.
Exactly.
And
now it was like when I saw the crystal in the crevice, something hanging in there in the debris, and you went on digging, and I thought, well, it takes more than a few hours to get it out safely without damaging. And really after 5 minutes or so, or 10 minutes, you went on digging and you said, mate, I have it out. And then, okay, it was really like a surprise. Okay, how is it looking? Is it damaged? How big is it, or how nice it is?
This is it. I'm showing the picture right now. It's still completely covered in mud and debris. It doesn't look like anything. Let me see what happens if I put it on full screen for a second. But we immediately knew that it was huge, that it was ridiculously big. Because just look at the size of it next to your head. It's gigantic. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, this was gigantic, and as you can see, it's a twin, or not a twin. It has a smaller crystal next to it. Sorry for that. So, yeah, it also has some white. It looks like damage or a white stripe over it. So we hoped that it was damaged so bad, but it was okay. It was doable because the mud and everything covered the crystal and protected it. So it went out very well without any damage.
Yeah. Was it actually? I think it was already quite covered in additional small rocks and a lot of mud as well. Because I think in this picture you can see that a bit better, especially when looking at your gloves, which seem to be full of mud actually. Did you clean it up already when you got it out or not?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think in this next picture you can clearly see that.
No, I didn't clean it. We found it and we took it home like this, and that's why the surprise was: is it undamaged or not. And that's why it's
Okay. Yeah, if you look at this picture, by the way, it seems to be a little bit etched on one side. Can you explain a bit on that etching? Why you see all those lines in the picture? How does that happen?
Maybe you can go to the microphone, Daniel.
Yeah, in the picture now, you can see that it's that big crystal is actually quite etched. There's these lines on one side.
Yeah, and as you see, the etching was something. Yeah, it's there. It's not very nice. It's not. We hoped, but it's not for this size of crystal wrong, because when you find a crystal like this size for that location, it's unique. And if it's etched, okay, yeah, so be it. But that's also something how it grows. So it belongs to that piece. It is like it is.
Yeah,
And
I agree.
the biggest part is it's undamaged.
I think it looks really cool. Really cool. Let me scroll down a little bit. You can clearly see the twin crystal as well. And then at the bottom where you're just holding it, still see that base where all the small crystals are as well. I think that's quite cool.
Show you the crystal if you want. I've got it here.
Oh yes, please do. Please do. I'm switching to your full screen. And the floor is yours.
I'll go a little bit back because otherwise it's not fully in screen. Is it that
big?
This is the crystal.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's that big. Like the twin. And the etching. You can see it. It has etching, but it's not damaged.
No. But it's so much more shiny after you've cleaned it now. It's even...
This side is totally smooth.
Yeah. It's transparent as well.
And the base rock.
Yeah. There's just hardly any base rock. But still you can say it's one crystal on matrix because it does have the host.
And also here the lining in the crystal a little bit browner as in a phantom crystal. You see it very clearly now.
Wow. I see someone mentioning in the chat, indeed, this is a once in a lifetime find.
Nice, right?
Really cool. I can imagine that this one has a really nice place in your display cabinet.
And exactly, this is a once in a lifetime. This is in my display case where everybody can see it. Of course, it's in one of the best pieces from this quarry, or as in size, of course, but also the quality is okay. It's very good.
Yeah, so cool.
But I must say, maybe when we do more live streams, there are more findings from this quarry that are also very high quality. And it's not about the size of the crystal, it's about the quality that you can find here and the difference. Because you can also find crystals with pyrite there. We also got it in another video on YouTube. And that was also a cool find. And that was in the same time period we found these crystals. So check that out, because that's cool to see. Nice reddish to golden, orange crystals with pyrite in between.
Yeah. It's not not that common to find pyrite there actually.
Exactly. So that's really what we found that day, and it was indescribably cool.
Yeah, it was. I think it was one of the best days. I think just finding crystals this size is not something you do for once in, regardless of this location, that you do quite often. This is really a chance of a lifetime. But then also finding them actually on this location where there are a lot of people already digging, and a lot of cool pieces have already been found. I think this is it's just so cool to yeah, to actually have this, to find this.
Exactly. Cool, but this adventure is indescribably cool. We have it on YouTube. We can't describe how many times we're thinking about it. And of course, we're going back to this quarry. And yeah, hopefully we'll find something like this again. And if not, it's not, because this is once in a lifetime. You're totally right.
I hope so. I hope so. I do hope that we. I'm of course a crystal fan, being a rock hounder, but calcite is nice. But I do personally like fluorite and quartz more. So I really hope that in the future we can find a sizable crystal this size being quartz or even fluorite. Then I'll really I'll really dance the whole day. Just asking in the chat for a second. Are there people that have questions, by the way? Because we've been talking now for an hour or so. No questions, so that's good.
Okay, yeah. For us, this adventure, we talked about it many times in the video, but now also in the live stream. We have talked about more than an hour now. Of course, we can go on, but for now, we have this adventure in this video. Hopefully, you liked it. We'll do hopefully more live streams without any problems with the
Yeah,
with audio or something else.
it was a shame that the technical part was a bit bad. That we lost some connections with our audio a couple of times, and unfortunately, that showing the video, yeah, ruined the quality of the stream a little bit. We'll have to figure that one out. Maybe it's due to me having received a new internet connection this week as well. Anyway, we'll plan some other streams as well, other topics. In the meantime, if you have any suggestions, feel free to send us to them. You can send it via Instagram. You can put it on the YouTube community as well, or even send us an email if you want. If you have any suggestions on topics for future live streams. I do see a question coming in. What is the most Ontario Rockhound asks, what's the most common crystal habit at this quarry for calcite? Is it usually dogtooth? Actually, no. These to be honest, even though they look this way, these aren't actually the dogtooths itself aren't the common ones. Most common are, I'm not sure what the habit name is, but they look like big barrels, the water barrels, but then smaller shapes. So they've got 6 or 7 edges, and then on the top there they end. It's the same shape as barite also sometimes grows. Those are much more common here. But sometimes you're lucky and you get these dog-toothed ones. I see Kristian already turning around, so he's probably trying to find one of these more common crystal habits. Can you find one? I'm looking here as well.
I can't find it at the
That's
moment.
too bad.
I've got
That's too bad.
it in other places, but I have it.
Yeah. But they look like barrels, smaller ones as well. Yeah, I've got a couple.
They look like barrels. It's a hexagonal shape.
That's cool.
So, but it's very different in this story. It's not like Dr. Calcite.
No.
Exactly.
I actually I doubt whether these pieces are these dog tooth as well, because they're not as sharp as those really dog tooth crystals that you see, for instance, in the USA. I'm not that familiar actually. Do you know, Kristian? Are these big ones? Is this dog tooth calcite?
Probably not,
I don't think
because
so,
it's another growth. Dogtooth calcite is always very pointish. It's growing like it's, don't get me wrong, it's a wrong description, but it's growing like a quartz group crystal, like an amethyst or a quartz growing upwards in a hollow space.
Okay.
These are cavity-filled crystals that grow in another way. I can show you one piece I've got here. Maybe that gives you a sign of how it's going there, but it's very different. Also, there are many Belgian groups, and they have probably a website, but also other things that they show where what crystal growths come from this quarry, because the quarry is very famous, and they have described very many finds there. Also, ultraviolet lighting with those crystals. But I can show you one piece if you want.
Yeah, please do. Please do. I'm quite curious now, because it's actually a good question. And I do think what was just said in the chat by Ontario Rakau, that it's like rhombohedral. That's probably, it might be a shape in between being dogtooth and rhombohedral as well. I'm not too familiar about it. See if Kristian will find some. Ah, there you go. Okay, I'll put you on full screen so you can show it a bit better.
Okay, but even this is triangular shape.
Oh, right.
Can you see a little bit how?
Yeah.
I only got this in the first possibility to take a crystal from this quarry, but I've got multiple here in the display case, of course. But it's a triangular shape. It's a star form, as in triangular, like that, and it goes upwards, as you can see. Maybe not the best way to show it to you. I think it's possible that we do another live stream about only calcites or findings from this quarry, not only the pockets, but
yeah,
there's more to show.
No, that's good. Right, so with that being said, I think it is time for us to close down this this live stream. Or I see you still searching in your cabinet, Kristian. Maybe you were still trying to find something.
I'll leave it for now.
No worries, no worries.
I'll leave it for now.
Okay, we'll save it for the next live stream. Of course, the holiday season is coming up, so we can't promise that we will do another live stream for the end of the year. If not, then we'll take it over the holidays. And even though it's still November, wishing everyone already a Merry Christmas.
You're early, but okay. Nice wish. Nice wish.
You never know. For those in the chat or watching the live stream who are prospectors as well, happy hunting, or as we say in Europe or in German, more specifically, Glück auf. Hopefully you'll get some nice crystals, and keep on sharing as much as you have on our social medias if you do any nice finds, and everything is more than welcome. Any ideas, suggestions that we have regarding how also we do these live streams or how we do on social media, for us is this just a hobby, and we're not professionals. We do this on our in our attics as well.
Exactly.
on a Friday evening. But at least it's really cool that everyone is viewing this. Much appreciated.
Yeah, thank you everyone as well. I wish you all the best, of course, with searching for crystals. Also, please, if you don't follow us, please follow us at every social media channel that's possible.
Yeah,
for us, it's motivation to keep on going.
Click somewhere over
And
here.
of course,
there, somewhere here. There should be like a subscribe button here where you can say subscribe, or it's there somewhere. I don't know. It's somewhere in the corner.
Yeah. Sounds good. Thank you, everybody. We'll see each other soon with another live stream, or maybe in a quarry. And if you have something, like Daniel said, to share with us, mail us or write something to us through social media, and maybe we'll see each other in a quarry or somewhere else.
Very nice. Thanks, everyone.
Okay.
Talk to you
Good luck.
soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.